Michigan as presented by the state's leading authority on events, the Michigan Festival and Events Association. A full listing of events is available on MichiganFun.com. Michigan Fun is a production of My Michigan TV powered by Michigan Digital. Now, here's your host, President of the Michigan Festival and Events Association, Mike Szukhent.
Welcome to Michigan Festivals and Events, where we talk about the top festivals and events in the state of Michigan. I'm Mike Szukhent, and it's springtime, so we're going to talk about some of those springtime traditional events. We're going to have the Great Lakes Mega Scrapbook Convention. We're going to also talk about balloons over Bavaria. But right now, we're going to talk Dog Bowl with Jerry Ellison from the River Place Shops in Frankenmuth. Welcome, Jerry.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
So, tell us all about Dog Bowl.
Well, the Dog Bowl this is our 15th annual. We have it every Memorial Day weekend, which will be the 27th and 28th of May. It is anticipated to have over 100,000 people with over 5,000 dogs. We have 25 different canine related events, with most of them held in the Frankenmuth Credit Union events field here at River Place. You know, whether your dog is competitive doggy athlete or a novice, or who would like to try their paw at dock diving, disc dog competitions, or doggy dash allure. They welcome many events where newcomers can join in as well. So it's just a great weekend. Lots of dogs. We have lots of fun, lots of people. We have lots of vendors that are out showing their products for dogs. It's just a real great weekend.
So, and obviously I saw some of the dogs and their owners that were dressed up to look a lot alike. You know, it's a dog looks like his master looks like a dog. Is there a contest for that?
So yes, we do have a contest where the dogs actually just more of a dog contest costume. And then we have a parade that goes down on Main Street. And so that's pretty popular as well. And then we pick a king and queen as well for all the dogs. So it's pretty neat. We have canines as well that do demonstrations for us, which is very nice, which is very popular as well.
I saw that there was some demonstrations with local law enforcement and their dogs. That's got to be intense to watch that. And are just the officers in those suits, or do they allow spectators to get in those suits?
Yeah, no, it is just for the officers and their canines. They do allow you, after the demonstrations, they do allow people to come up and visit the dogs and the officers, but nothing, they don't get involved with the actual show itself.
That's great. I had a cousin that was in a state police, and he was a canine division, and he and his dog were inseparable. They went everywhere all the time, whether they are working or well, it becomes a member of the family also. The other thing that I saw, that, and I've seen this before at other events, and I've seen it at Dog Bowl, was the air dog, where they're jumping off the dock to catch the baton. That's some of those dogs get some serious air.
Very much so. Dock dog diving is very popular, and that's one of the activities actually that they let other folks that are there for the first time let their dogs compete in that. So it's really just a great opportunity if you want to test the waters to see if the dogs even are interested in that. They let them compete in that process as well.
And I see they're also throwing the discs, the frisbees, and it amazes me, myself playing Frisbee, trying to track the angle that Frisbee is flying to be able to catch it. And those dogs are right on it. And again, the amount of air that they get to go get that Frisbee is amazing. Those crowds have got to be loud.
It is very amazing at what those dogs can do. They have a practice field before they actually get to compete. And so to watch them throw those Frisbees is unbelievable. And you are correct. Those dogs can get some serious air. And I don't really know how much they train with them all the time, but it seems like they really take some time with their pets and their dogs to get them to get that serious air.
I also saw, and I know that it's you see it at a lot of the dog shows where they had the agility course. And,
yep, the Delure, Doggy Delure Dash, it's called here. And so it's set up where it chases, I think ours is a rabbit, and it goes around the course. And that's another event where you can just bring your own dog and let them compete for that as well. It's pretty popular. That's we also have rock and roll canines that are here. They put on a show 3 times each day where their dogs have been trained to go through those courses. That is one of the events that they don't allow dogs to come into.
Okay. Well, it's a 2-day event. Can you quickly go over what the schedule is for each day?
Well, each day is going to be kind of similar. So they start out with the competitions for everything. Each one we have wiener dog races that is in the afternoon at 3:30. The canine demonstrations, they have 3 separate shows as well. And the schedule hasn't been 100% completed yet, but it will be up on our website, which is dogbowlfun.com. And we hope to have that all completed within the week, actually, so that we can get everybody up to, if they have a specific event that they want to come and watch. The other things that we have, we have lots of pet-friendly dining. We're going to be serving everything from Bavarian chicken to cheese curds from the Cheese Trap. New this year, we have what's called a smoke bone tent, where we're going to be featuring barbecued ribs and wings. Which
my mouth is watering, Jerry. My mouth is watering.
Yeah. So we're also going to have something that should be mentioned is there will be rescue groups here looking for suitable homes for their rescue dogs. And then we're going to have, like I said, related retail vendors to browse through as well. So it's going to be a very packed weekend.
Sure, it sounds that way, and a great event for everyone, a dog lover, and those people that just love to be entertained. If you're looking for any additional information, Jerry's given you the website, but it's also available on MichiganFun.com, along with all of our festivals and events. Jerry, I appreciate you being on the show today. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the luck in the world on that. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the time that you've given us.
Well, coming up next on Michigan Fun, we're going to be talking about the Great Lakes Mega Meat Scrapbook Convention. Be right back.
My Michigan TV is streaming everywhere on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and more smart TV apps. My Michigan TV is on your phone too. Take us with you wherever you go. Just search for My Michigan TV on your favorite app store or visit mymitv.com. All Michigan, streaming everywhere. My Michigan TV.
Looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Love Lansing like a local. And we promise, you'll love Lansing just as much as we do.
Welcome back to Michigan Fun, a weekly look at the top events in the state of Michigan. We've got a great guest right now. Let's talk about the Great Lakes Mega Meat Scrapbook Convention. It's going to be down at the Novi Center. And with us today is Kate Griswold, the show producer. Welcome, Kate. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
I don't know where that came from.
So the facility is actually called the Suburban Collection Showplace. It's been a lot of years since it was the Novi Expo Center, but we've been there that long.
I got gray hair. So, it's a mouthful to try to come up with Great Lakes Mega Meat Scrapbook Convention. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Well, this is our 23rd year. So we have been producing the scrapbooking convention since the year 2000 with a 1-year break where everyone had to take a break. And
everybody had a 1-year break, yes.
Everybody had a 1-year break, including us. And so, we've just been bringing vendors and consumers together to work on paper crafting. It started strictly as scrapbooking, but we have definitely ventured out into all sorts of paper crafting, including rubber stamping, card making, home decor, anything you can craft with paper. You're going to find stuff for that at this show.
How many vendors do you expect or do you normally have for this?
We have about a little over 60 vendors coming this year, and they are representing way more than 60 companies. They represent all kinds of manufacturers from all over the world.
Are there going to be any hands-on activities?
Yes, during the show itself, if you come to the show floor, there are make and takes and demonstrations in the booths that are showing you how to do different techniques or use different mediums with the paper, or little projects that you can make and take with you. We also offer classes. So all day, every day of the show, there are classes going down in the Diamond Center of the Suburban Collection Showplace, taught by a lot of designers in the industry. And then we also do, so if you're a scrapbooker, when we work on our scrapbooks, we call it a crop. We call it cropping. And people are always like, crops? Are you raising corn or wheat? No. We're cropping, cutting out. It's kind of a publishing term. When you are working in like a publication type software, you crop your image. So anyway, we call it cropping. And so we have crop events that also go on all 3 days, all day cropping events. And we have a big Friday night crop party. So where everybody brings their projects to work on, and we have a DJ with music and prizes, and it's just a lot of fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun. And yes, I am familiar with the term cropping because I do have 2 sister-in-laws and some nieces that are definitely into scrapbooking. I love the things that are the creations. I'm just not that artistic. So what is there for what is there for those of us that are lacking but enjoy the effort?
Well, we have a lot of vendors that sell like kits that all you have to do is add your photos and you're done, or assemble the cards and you're done. Like the designing and the hard part is all done for you. And for me, I love to do kits because I find them really therapeutic because I don't have to think, and I just get to play with scissors and paper like I was in kindergarten again.
It's not considered cheating?
No, not at all.
That's good. That's good. It's right in my alley. Kate, how many people do you usually get in attendance there?
We across the 3 days, we get about 8,000 people through the show. So it's pretty big.
That's amazing. Those are very respectable numbers. Good job on that. Costs to attend the event?
Right now, pre-registration has ended, but you can purchase tickets at the door. They're $10 each. And the show hours are Friday and Saturday, 10 to 6, and Friday and Saturday. Thursday and Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturday, 10 to 5. So it's Mother's Day weekend, but we give you Mother's Day to spend with your mom.
Well, this is a great opportunity to get that great present from mom to give to her on Sunday.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of mothers and daughters that have made attending the event a long time tradition.
Well, is there concessions?
There are concessions. They're provided by Suburban Collection Show Place.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So again, you said this is how many years that this event's going on?
23 years. So I talked about that gap year we had to take. And during that gap year, we also launched virtual events. So we also have a series of virtual events that we put on throughout the year. Our next one is in June. So if you've got listeners or viewers that aren't able to make it down this Mother's Day weekend to come to the show in person, they should check out our website because we do have virtual events that go on. We have one coming up in June and then again in August and then in November.
Jared is showing
anywhere.
Your other events. Do you want to tickle anybody's interest on future events that you have there?
Oh, like I said, we've got the virtual events coming up in June, August, and November. We also do a show in Columbus, Ohio. That actually just took place a couple months ago, so that won't happen again until next year. So, yeah, that's what we do. We bring people together to make fun stuff. Our original focus was on scrapbooking and preserving memories, but a lot of people also like to make cards and make things. You know, people just like to make things. You know, it's therapeutic, and in today's day and age, we need all the therapy we can get. So
yes, we do. Yes, we do. Kate, for our viewers, information. How do they get information again? Find out the details on this.
The details are on our website. I see that you have that up on the screen, GreatLakesScrapbookEvents.com. If you go to GreatLakesScrapbookEvents.com/events/GLMM, it'll take you straight to the page that's about our this show in Novi that's coming up on Mother's Day weekend, rather than the overview of all of the things that we offer.
Kate, sounds like a very fun weekend and obviously a great opportunity for those last minute shoppers for mom, for Mother's Day.
Yep.
Thank you very much for being on the show today. Again, her website, she gave that. If you missed that, it's also available on MichiganFun.com. Again, Kate, thank you very much for being on the show. Appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Mike. This was great.
Thank you. Coming up next on Michigan Fun, we're going to be talking balloons over Bavaria. Be right back. Welcome back to Michigan Fun, where we take a weekly look at the festivals and events in the state of Michigan. Our next guest is from Balloons Over Bavaria. Welcome, Jim Engel, director of this festival. Jim, this is absolutely wonderful event. It's so colorful. And of course, you're at the #1 tourist destination in the state of Michigan, beautiful Frankenmuth. How you doing today?
Well, thank you. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's so fun to talk about many things that are in Frankenmuth, but I especially have hot air when it comes to hot air balloons.
So, Jim, how long has this event been going on in Frankenmuth?
My wife and I have been leading the event on behalf of Bavarian Inn, where I work. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Bavarian Inn Lodge. We've been leading the event for 15 years. This is number 16 coming up this Memorial Weekend.
That's awesome. How many balloons usually do you guys get there, or how many are you anticipating this year?
Well, we have to start requesting the pilots to apply in January, because by the end of January, I have to submit all their details about their balloons, their envelopes, their license, their insurance, everything to the FAA to get a waiver in order to be approved to fly hot air balloons over crowds of people. Normally can't do that. You have to get an FAA waiver. And by getting that waiver, they can fly a little little lower over the community too, 500-foot bubble around everything instead of a 1,000-foot bubble. So I know exactly there are 24 hot air balloons coming. I've had as many as 35, but years ago we hosted Great Lakes Regional Hot Air Balloon Competition. You might not know they're competitors and they're here to win money. That's why they're here. They like to have a show and show off their big boy toys, but they're really competing for money.
You talked about the FAA, and that was something that I had not even thought of. Is there restrictions as far as how far out they can go so that you're not interfering with airplane traffic?
Yeah, there is. I've been around the ballooning world enough, and I actually announced at 6 other balloon events around the state. So they've taught me all the ins and outs of how this works. They have access to the air, and they pre-schedule with the FAA the flight times. They basically will fly between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. And they will fly between 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. It's usually too windy to fly in the middle of the day in Michigan because it's usually too windy. Wind is the enemy of a hot air balloon. You can fly in wind, great. It's that last foot as you're hitting the ground. That's the problem. And so you don't want to, they like to fly in 6, 5, 4 mile an hour winds, or 7, 8, 9 is okay. They don't like 10 and 12 mile an hour winds. It's too rough to land. So that's why almost all hot air balloon events wrap around other events very well. And the reason we wrapped around it. So they have a 5-mile radius, and they do call into the FAA prior to each flight and reconfirm we're planning to fly or we've canceled. And all air traffic is made aware when anybody's launching anywhere in southern Michigan, anywhere, even Grand Rapids, that there are balloons here. Just in that event, they would, they can go up 5, 6, 10,000 feet if they wanted to. Usually they stay under 2,000, 3,000 feet though.
The questions just keep coming in my head. You talked about the wind. Is the wind different depending on your elevation?
Well, people ask questions like, are they going to fly back? When they launch, they'll say, when are they going to turn around and come back? Well, they can't. They go with the direction of the wind, and you're exactly right. So they're here to compete. And how does a hot air balloon compete? Well, I'll give you an example. In the early morning for a morning flight, they'll have a pilot briefing in one of my banquet rooms at the lodge, and they'll decide. I have pre-approved with people who own land around us about 50 locations where we could put a target, a 30-foot X in the field. And so that morning they will test the winds, and they will determine. We always use the field that's adjoining River Place shops. It's called Franklin with Credit Union Field. For our evening launches, but in the morning we put a big target in that field, and our goal is to fly over Frankenmuth and have one of the targets there. So the way they steer is they get to choose where they launch from. They have to usually knock on doors of people who have a big grass front yard with no power lines, right? And they'll say, hey, you mind if I launch a hot air balloon? And they're waking them up in their pajamas, and oh, yes, come on, do it. And then the whole family comes out to watch, right? You want that in your front yard, yeah.
Along with all the neighbors.
Yeah, you get the roaring of that burner at 6:30 in the morning, but they will go a little higher and a little lower, and they might get a 3 or 4 degree variance, and that's how they steer. They put more heat in, they go higher, and they can catch a little different angle. And if they see other guys going lower, and maybe they're getting a little left turn, and they want that left turn, then they'll go a little lower too. And it's all about up and down, hot, cold, vent the heat, add the heat, hit the burner, and there's your burners right there. This is a hot air balloon glow they're showing at the moment.
Jim, from the attendees' point of view, is there a price to attend this, to observe this?
There is not. Dog Bowl and Balloons Over Bavarian Inn. It's actually Balloons Over Bavarian Inn when we get to URLs and stuff in a minute, but it's all free. We don't have paid parking either. We're in the restaurant business at Bavarian Inn, and and we set up a lot of extra food opportunities, and we're in the retail business, and we're serving chicken dinners at the big Bavarian Inn. So this is our kickoff to summer. It's a way to thank everybody for all the hard work and the fun that's about to come now that we kick it off on Dog Bowl weekend. We might have 30, we might have 70,000 people in town that come and go on the different days. ballooning occurs from Friday night through Sunday night, whereas Dog Bowl is all day Saturday and all day Sunday. But we have a balloon flight followed by a balloon glow all 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all on the Franklin Credit Union field right next to River Play Shops. And so we will, they will fly out all 24 balloons. It's pilot's discretion. If 1 or 2 thought it's a little too windy for them, they could stay on the ground, but most will fly if the weather's right. And then they'll land, come back, and then half the balloons, because the field's only so big, we can't launch simultaneously, will do just like you're seeing there. They will tether their balloon and they will glow. This is a glow showing at the moment that's not quite dark outside yet. And if the weather's really calm, like that picture is showing, we open the field. We let people come in under all the balloons. If it's a little windy and we're going to glow, we might not be able to open the field to go under the balloons. But either way, we have a fence perimeter around it. And it's you can't get closer to a hot air balloon at any event than you can at this one, that's for sure. And we'll have fireworks after the Sunday night glow. But so there's lots of different activities. We have a lot of people come just for balloons. We have a lot of people come just with their dog bowl. And a lot of people just bring their dogs along and stay for the whole thing.
Jim, anybody wants any additional information? Do you have a direct website for that?
I do. Dogbowlfun.com is the primary dog bowl site, and all the ballooning information is the side of it. But if you are like in the area and you're wondering what's happening, you're better off to go to Facebook and look up the Facebook page Balloons Over Bavarian Inn. It's like it's one word, Balloons Over Bavarian Inn Facebook page, because when we have those pilot briefings, we'll immediately post to Facebook, yes, we're flying, and we'll give a little hint. It's really going where the wind's going. We'll be launching from north of Frankenmuth, might be what it says, flying over River Place Field for the morning flights. But all evening flights start at the Frankenmuth Credit Union Field and go out in whichever direction the wind is taking them. So we're the first big balloon event of the season. And so for these guys who travel, and I didn't show you, this is the pilots that are coming. Here's an example. This is a draft. I'm still waiting on one picture from one pilot over on this side, but this is the balloons that are going to be here this year. They're from all over Michigan, Ohio. We got one from Indiana coming, and we hand out 10,000 these little sheets. There's that logo you just showed a second ago. And we're going to hand these out to all the spectators for free so that people can see which balloons where and who they're from. Every balloon's got a name, we've got Whimsical flying here, and Captain America, and Dark Horse. They all have fun names that the folks get to invent when they balloon. And a lot of these balloons built in Michigan. Dexter, Michigan is the home of Cameron Balloons. You might not have known you could buy a hot air balloon not far from where you're sitting right now.
That's great. Jim, really appreciate you being on the show. This has been absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a fabulous event. If you're looking for additional information, go to michiganfun.com. Jim, again, thank you very much. I wish you the best weekend possible for that. I know everybody's going to have a good time on it. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you kindly for having us. But when we say goodbye to a hot air balloonist who's launching, we say to him, soft landings. That's our way of saying goodbye. Have a wonderful flight. And in your case, a wonderful rest of the week.
You too, Jim. Thank you. Well, that wraps up today's show. I want to thank our guests for being with us today. To find out more information about these events or any event in the state of Michigan, check out michiganfun.com. I'd also like to thank our producer, Jared Clark, for being with us today. He's the one that's navigating everything behind the lines. Also, thank the entire crew at mymichigantv.com to check out our entire library and all the on-demand things. Go to MyTV, that's MYMITV.com. Thank you, and I look forward